Well, not for myself, and by that I mean medical hope. I have no illusions that anything that's going on today will cure me.
Hey, did you want me to stop it at 57?
So you hope for? I want to leave a legacy. So I've asked myself any number of times. So I'm not deeply religious, but I'm very spiritual. How I define that is odd. Why me? And once I get past the scientific dynamic, which is random choice, stuff happens. I either have convinced myself that I'm being punished for having been Attila the Hun in a previous life, or alternatively, I was given this so I could help do something about it. Let's accept the latter. So, and me too. That's what I've done. And so,
are you asking how long?
With my time, my resources, my energy, moving the needle along so that once I'm gone, people will say, well, the couple of years that he had with this, he used it so thoughtfully and so productively.
Thank you to Charlie Rose and his guest, Jay Fishman and Dr. Jeffrey Rothstein. A reminder,
not over here.
On Bloomberg Television, weeknights.
Oh, okay.
10 p.m. in high definition on Verizon Fios Channel 604. We're glad you're spending your Sunday morning at our brunch with Charlie Rose on Bloomberg Radio. This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. They're young and they're worried.
Increasingly, the young people say 25 to almost 40, disappointed, disillusioned.
John Spooner is an author and a broker.
One young person said to me, we're a generation that's looking uphill. I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to be married or to have children.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs. It's Medicare open enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find?
Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare open enrollment. October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Doctor, I just wish there was more we could do for him.
I wish there was a station on the iHeartRadio app that played all the songs and stations I've thumbed up.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Your wish has come true. Our iHeartRadio app now has My Favorites Radio. Every song and station you've thumbed up is now on one personal station. Your station. My Favorites Radio. iHeartRadio. All your favorite music. All your favorite station. All free. Use our iHeartRadio app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
1230 WBZT West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station. This report is streamed live on our iHeartRadio app. Download it now.
A pretty good-looking day is on tap for us, but boy, is it going to get hot. Highs this afternoon will be near record-breaking territory. Those temperatures will be in the upper 80s, around 88 degrees. But when you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like it's in the low to mid-90s. Some isolated showers and even some rumbles of thunder are possible as well. The first half of next week will be warm and humid, but some slightly cooler, less humid air arrives by the end of the week. I'm Storm Team 5 meteorologist Tyler Malden for 1230 WBZT.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor.
Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs.
It's Medicare open enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find?
Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare open enrollment. October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Go to the Man's Best Friend with Brenna Ray blog at WJNO.com. You can check out the new video each week of an adoptable puppy who's ready to go home today. This week's Pet of the Week, JoJo. The Man's Best Friend with Brenna Ray blog is brought to you by Premier Comfort. Beat the heat with Premier Comfort at 561-444-3670.
1230 WBZT. The
thoughts and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and don't necessarily reflect those of the station or iHeartMedia.
Hi, it's Leah, here to tell you about Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. He's a pain specialist located in southern Palm Beach County, so if you are somebody that you know is suffering in pain, Dr. Pannozzo is the one you guys need to call. And make that call today, because living in pain is no way to go through life. Dr. Pannozzo has been in practice now for more than 49 years. He's treated more than 73,000 patients for pain. He's an expert when it comes to diagnosing the pain, and he has had huge turnarounds. In fact, people living with scoliosis, he has had nearly a 100% turnaround. Lumbar pain as well. If you've got lower back pain, if you're suffering with migraines or flat feet pain, maybe pain in your elbows, your neck, your shoulders, Dr. Pannozzo can help you. And the greatest thing is he can help you without drugs, without surgery, and without having to go through weeks and months of rehabilitation. Give him a call today. Set up an appointment. It's 561-381-5800. Tune into his show Sundays, 11 to noon. And now, here's this week's edition of the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour.
Good morning, everybody. I am going to give you the number before I do anything else, because this show today is going to hopefully make people wake up and understand what we're trying to do. It's 800-889-0267, or 800-889-0267. I want to say hi to Colleen. How you doing, Colleen? Mr. Centauri from Amp2.tv. We're sitting on the computer. Me and, of course, the man of the hour.
Les.
No, I'm not the man of the hour. You're the man of the hour.
Oh, you're
Dr.
Les.
Anthony Pannozzo, musculoskeletal professional.
That's right.
There's something, Freddy and Doc, that I want to get off my shoulders. Everybody here has car insurance, right?
Car insurance.
They search the best policy, who's going to protect me, what's my deductible. Why don't they do that for health insurance? This is something that totally bugs me. And people, I just want to let you know, I'm a consumer like everybody else. I shop to make sure I'm getting the right health insurance. Here's the biggest problem people don't realize, Freddie. I was doing a little survey. Most people don't have the right insurance. They buy whatever the insurance company tells them to buy, and they don't look. I know when I went to see Dr. Pannozzo, as you did, because we're smart consumers, I just went and got it. Insurance company paid for it, no questions, because you know what? I was cured. So what I'm telling everybody out there, Cy Sims had the greatest commercial out. A smart consumer is my best customer. You got to be smart now. I mean, if you're going to spend, who cares about your car? Some people take better care of their car than their body. I mean, you must come in contact with that all the time, Doc, with insurance. I mean,
this is the worst state for insurance, I think.
Okay.
Because of all the restricted staff that these insurance companies can get away with. Mm-hmm. I mean, if they restrict where you can get treated, that means they save money. You're not going to go get treated.
And who to get treated by?
And who?
Yeah.
So if they restrict the staff, the people who are not knowledgeable, a lot of musculoskeletal stuff, like we're trying to educate you. That's what this show is about. Education about pain, what causes it and how to get it treated. If they don't do you any good there, they'll put you on drugs or do therapy. That's it. You're not going to get treated. Why? Because people like me are not on their staff. Because they say, why not? You don't know why. Because it's all restricted. You can't find out. And you can't sue them either because it's part of the law. It's a private company. They can put anybody else they want on there. Mm-hmm. It's your responsibility, Les, to not buy that insurance.
And I did that.
Make them suffer by money. Don't give them your money, and then they'll change. Otherwise, they won't.
On my insurance, never questioned, never asked me what I was going for. I went to see Dr. Pannozzo. I gave him my card. Didn't have to get accepted. He took the shot. The insurance company paid without any question because my wife and I researched to get the insurance that...
They're buying policies with a deductible of $55, $75. That means every time you go into somebody's office, you're paying that out of your pocket. It's a punishment because that means nothing to these companies. They have billions. And then they have a deductible, which is different. Right. It could be up to $2,000, $5,000, $12,000 before you spend any of your insurance money. It's all your money. Yet they restrict you from doing it. This is why you're better off not buying it from those companies. Keep looking till you get a decent insurance. And those companies will grow, and the ones who have these stupid things in it will go down. And that's what you want. That's the that's the system we're under. If you do good, you make money. If you don't, you go under.
Right.
That's what we want.
Right.
We want that. Competition is good.
Well, yeah, competition.
Also at my office, too. I mean, I tell everybody, hey, I'm going to compete with everybody else out there. I'm going to make you as well as I can, as fast as I can, because now you're going to appreciate that. You are going to be a smart consumer, like Les was talking about, right?
I mean, my God, yeah. I mean, you show money. I'd rather spend my money on my health than my car. My car only lasts maybe 5 years. My health, I hope, would last.
People are coming in from word of mouth. They, friends recommend me, and they come in, and we take care of them. And by the way, the mic is open. That's a number.
Yeah, 800-889-0267 if you're having problems with your health or insurance.
You have a complaint about me or anything, just call up. We'll take it.
We take the call right away. We have nobody that's screening them. If you want to call and say...
You know why I can do that, Les?
Because... No, you tell me, Doc. I know the answer.
Because nobody knows as much as I do. That's why.
Well, it's true. You know what? People... That's
the attitude you got to have, because otherwise you can't be on the spot on a program like this.
We want you to call up. I mean, if you've gone to Dr. Pannozzo and he hasn't cured you of the pain you walked in, please call us. Now, here's something that I want every time we have new listeners. What I'm doing, folks, you got to get your calls in now, because the next half hour of the show, we're going to take a lot of questions that Freddy's been monitoring with his son. People wanted to know, how could you cure scoliosis? I mean, everyone says you can't cure scoliosis. We got to give you rods. We got to give you pills. We got to give you this, that. And you're saying you could cure it. Why?
Well, he's proven it.
That's right. He's proven it. That's why I want people to go to Pannozzo.
Well, we did the research on it. Yeah, Pannozzo.com or
Pannozzo.tv.
No, that's not my website.
Well, the one that we have.
The film is on Pannozzo.tv.
Yeah,
the Pain Center is national.
Yeah,
Pain Center
is nationwide.
Yeah, but if you go to Pannozzo, Pannozzo, you could see patients that have actually been cured or are getting cured from scoliosis.
Right.
What do you do? I mean, we know.
It's you have to understand what causes that.
Okay, cause and effect.
And the orthopedic surgeons universally will tell you it's heredity. Absolutely wrong. You're not born with that. You're born straight. You can have a birth injury, though, which we call autism today. That's a birth injury to the neck, I believe. And I have proof for it. So the other thing, I don't say anything that I don't have proof for. That's why you call me up. I'll discuss anything with you because I have depth of knowledge of these things. So getting back to scoliosis. So you have to figure out you have a curvature and a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the body is engineered to refute that, to correct that.
Okay.
And so that's why you have a pain for a while, then it goes away. The body fixes it. Except in scoliosis, the injury takes place in the ligament structure around the bones, the vertebrae. And once you hurt that, you have an inflammation and a tightening down of the ligament structure, bone to bone.
Mm-hmm.
So if it tightens down while you're curved, you stay that way. Now, if you have a joint that falls into another joint, that's an injury. The ligament structure will tighten down, and you'll stay that way. So now you have a rotation and a curve. And you say, well, how could I have that? Well, it's not heredity. It's all injury, and it's all ligaments. So you find out which one is doing that. We just inject those with a small amount of steroid. It softens that up. You get the reversal right in front of your eyes in many cases. It depends on the age. Actually, at any age, if I do it right, you can see it.
Does the hump keep getting bigger and bigger?
The hump gets bigger and bigger as you get older.
Right.
But when you come to me, it goes away right away.
Mm-hmm. Right. And why is that hump growing?
Well, the scar tissue is holding it in an abnormal position, so that the more you try to do, the more tightening it gets, because it doesn't want to hurt you. And every scoliotic has a pain. There is no question about it. I had a radio show in Ohio, and the guy called me up and he said, I have scoliosis. I don't have any pain. I said, oh, is that right? Oh, I just love that. And I said, do you play golf? I just like that. He said, no. I said, why not? He said, oh, it hurts my back.
That's a $3 on that one. It hurts his back.
You got to be smart about these things, people. Cause and effect is extremely important.
The ability to stretch.
Now, this guy, go one further with the golf business. He's going to go to somebody to teach him how to take care of his swing, right?
Right.
So it doesn't hurt. What does that instructor know about it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's why they changed
Absolute zero.
They'll change the swing.
And they'll try to change the swing. But you should never do that. Your swing should always go to normal, never abnormal. So
that's right. But then
remember that. But golfers, never take an instruction that changes your swing. You don't want to do that.
Well, I think we know somebody that's changed his swing quite a lot and now has problems.
Oh, what's his name?
What's
kind of animal?
Yeah, Tiger Woods, yeah. One of the greatest golfers that this country has ever seen. And it's a shame.
Yeah,
He's still...
and I followed him. I've watched him walk.
Yeah, I've been following him ever since he was a kid.
I read about him and the articles about him. And the thing is so... well, I shouldn't talk about it.
I first saw him on the Mike Douglas show where he was like 4 years old and he had his dad with him. And he had a swing at that age that was amazing. And his father taught him how to play golf. I mean, and this gentleman, to me, Tiger Woods was the greatest I've ever seen.
So, yeah, well, I don't think he's going to get back.
I hope he does,
unless he comes to see me, of course.
Yeah, so Mr. Woods, if we know you're in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, I would really love you to meet Dr. Pannozzo. Lake Buena Vista, right? That's where his house?
I don't know.
He lives in Florida.
No,
yeah, I know he lives in Florida,
he's on the coast at Jupiter.
Oh, Jupiter, okay. It was not that far away. Lake Buena Vista is a couple miles away. Oh, it's not dark. Okay. Colleen is shaking her head like...
I can't believe it.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What the hell he's talking about. Very bad, but I don't have a GPS brain. You know that. Okay, now, here's something that I was questioned by somebody at my gym. Okay? I have migraine headaches, and my doctor said that this guy can't cure them.
Oh, I love migraines.
So I said, what kind of doctor is it? He's a chiropractor. I said, well, number one is he's not a doctor. I said, let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah.
I said,
why would a guy consider a chiropractor his doctor? That's what he does? He goes to his chiropractor?
Yeah, he goes to his chiropractor, and the guy moves his head, he moves his neck. And
but that's his doctor.
That's it, but he's not a doctor.
I know he's not, but why would you consider a chiropractor a doctor?
You know what? I'll tell you what. Because every street has a chiropractor. Just like every street has a subway.
They graduated by the thousands.
Yeah.
I mean...
So, I want you to tell this patient. She said I told her to listen to us on 12:30 because there's a Dolphin game. So I just want everyone to know if you go to 94.3.
No, not today. You're only on BZT.
We're only on BZT today. So, Doc, tell this person, I don't want to mention the name because she said she'll kill me, why you can cure migraines and the chiropractor can't.
Again, it goes back to the source of the migraine. Now, migraine, the headache, is a symptom, and only a symptom. You have to know where that's from. The chiropractor is not going to know where that's from. Plus, he's not going to have the treatment necessary to take care of that.
Okay.
So that's why you're not going to get any better. We get those better in one day. And as a matter of fact, most of the time they don't come back. We have quite a number of people now who have had migraine, and we took care of them in one day. They're not back.
That kid you took care of, that young kid that had it for his whole life, he came in with his mom. He had TMJ, and he came once for the migraines, came back the next day for the, and he hasn't been back yet.
That's true. Took care of the TMJ second day, and that was it.
So insurance companies listen to that. Satisfied patient in 2 days.
Well, why they approve chiropractic treatment?
I don't understand.
There's no science there.
Could somebody tell me why?
You know, when they're trying to manage your money, which is what they're trying to do, they're saying, give us your money, we'll buy care for you, and we'll make sure the staff is good. That is not true. They're only out there to save money for themselves so they could have big salaries. They're not spending the money like, remember Obamacare? It said 80% of all the premiums go back out. That is not true. They're not paying for anything anymore. Big deductibles, they don't have to pay out at all. And it's all Obamacare. Obama, is going to live life, like they said, in infamy. That guy he's done more damage to us.
That's why we're hoping that everyone...
And you haven't seen the best of it yet. It's coming next year.
In January, it gets worse.
Yeah.
It gets worse. Big deductibles.
Yeah.
They're taking doctors off the staff. Who is going to take care of you people? They're taking people off the staff.
Well, it's really funny.
And they're not training anybody. Like, for instance, well, we have a closed staff. Now we're training them and we're doing this. They don't do any of that. Nothing. They just pay less. That's all.
It's really funny, Doc, because people are in car accidents, and you get 20 visits to a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll get to 20 visits. Yeah.
You get to 20 visits. I think they put like $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
So every accident, every person you see walking around, part of their healing process is to send them to chiropractor for 20 visits, okay? You take the same money and you go see a doctor who does what you do. Now, you're the only doctor that I know who does what you do, unless another doctor's out there that does it, call us.
That's true.
And you get one, maybe two, tops 3, 4 visits for whatever the injury is.
Yeah.
And you're done, right?
Right.
And then there's more money in the PIP to take care of the car.
Yeah.
To take care.
No, the PIP is only for medical. That's not for car.
No, but I'm saying you don't have to designate
but there's
more money.
$10,000 in the PIP for medical.
Yes.
They cannot have a lawsuit in Florida, personal injury lawsuit against an insurance company, if the PIP is not spent first.
That's right. You got to spend the PIP.
That's why they're wasting $10,000 on all these people.
Everybody.
You have an accident and you need a lawyer, right? No, you don't, but you think you do. You go to a lawyer, they send you to a chiropractor who's going to use up to $10,000, and now he can do a lawsuit.
But that's what I'm saying.
And now you're not going to get better because who's going to take care of you where there's no money left?
But if I use less money,
you're right.
If I use less money, I have more money to spend on my medical bills. Getting an aspirin in the hospital costs you $500.
They don't send you to a hospital. They send you to chiropractors.
Oh, no.
Which uses
Linda was in the hospital. I got pictures. Believe you me. She was in the hospital.
I mean, I am disappointed in the lawyers because that could be a wonderful job to do. Very high ethical standards, and you really take care of the needy. You know, people who are being slighted by the authorities, being accidents, you could take care of the little guy, the guy who's suffering. And what do? They do the opposite. Make you suffer more.
Makes no sense.
I know people who have gone to chiropractors and before I even met you, and they never get cured. And there's if you go to the web, look under chiropractic care, and it'll show you 27 reasons why you shouldn't go to a chiropractor. This is not me. Just
let me tell you, I treat chiropractors.
I know you do. I was there when.
And the nicer ones. Will get me in conversation. Why do you say that we don't have a treatment for this? I said, if you have an annulus pain, which surrounds a disc, it's in the middle of the body. What program do you have to get that?
Exactly.
To treat
and what did they tell you then?
Oh, I didn't know that. Of course you didn't know. You're going to a trade school. I mean, that is the truth. We have methods of doing that, which are very safe. Nothing wrong with them, and you get better. Mm-hmm. But, if you don't know what to do, you don't know where it is, how can you get better? So why encourage that kind of thing?
That's the point that people have to understand. You find out where the source of the pain comes from.
Yeah, source.
That's what people don't understand. If you're going to find, a lot of doctors will give you a shot of cortisone. That's no problem. But they're not putting out where the source is. That's the problem.
You got to be able to diagnose it, and you're not taught this stuff in school. Ladies and gentlemen, this is rare stuff that you're not going to find often. Take advantage of it while I'm still alive.
And for all you people that are just tuning in for the first time, Dr. Pannozzo is a graduate of Ohio State.
The Buckeyes.
The Buckeye State. Go Woody Hayes. That's what I always say. Okay, so now what I'm going to do today, Freddy, is I'm going to actually take some questions that people have been sending in to us. Do you mind that, Doc? Okay. I got a lot more stuff, but I want to get questions.
We encourage this. We encourage it. Come on. Questions.
800-889-0267. Give us a call.
Up.
Yes, 800-889-0267. You can get us on chat box, and you can just speak to Freddy's son. He'll type it in and let you know. Okay, question number one. Mike from Boca asked, oh, gosh, I had rods put into my
leg. It's a leg.
Okay, you can see leg years ago after a bad accident, and the pain is terrible. I heard on a show that you were able to help someone rid the pain even though the rods and screws were still on my leg. Is this true? Will I be able to do things without pain in my leg like I used to when I see you?
Yes.
Okay.
We had
Tell them why. Why?
Well, your orthopedic surgeon who did that and a therapist do not do this kind of musculoskeletal work. I do.
Okay.
We know how to take care of this pain. It's just scar tissue, and we'll get rid of it real fast.
And
no problem.
When I first met Dr. Pannozzo, we brought the bodybuilder.
Yes.
What was his name? I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name either. I don't remember the girl's name either. I'm sorry, it was such a long time ago. They were cured of their pain too fast.
But he was in a motorcycle accident. And the doc says, what is all this metal? I mean, the foot was horrible. And you took out the pain. He was able to go back to
Yeah, he was
lifting
crying
weights.
there. He was leaning against the doorway.
Oh, I remember that guy. I mean, he was a huge
He
guy.
was huge.
I mean, you see the emotion there.
Yeah.
People are suffering like crazy by going to people who are not qualified to treat that.
He also got hooked on the medication for pain. He, me and Linda saw him after that, like a year later. Clean. And he went back into the gym. He's not as big as he used to be. I mean, he can't, but...
Well, now he's able to do cardiovascular, which he was never able to do. He couldn't get on a treadmill.
That's right.
Okay,
He couldn't even get out of his car.
Let me get some of my Atlanta people in here. God, I love you, Atlanta. It's one of my favorite places. Lee from Atlanta writes, I'm a simple construction worker in Georgia and have pains in my arms and shoulders. I just want to know how he can help me. The shoulder area seems to be the top and back of the shoulder, and I lift heavy equipment. Is there a solution for me?
Of course.
Okay, explain.
Well, you have to find the source of the pain and treat it.
So in other words, he would be smart. He would be, I don't want to use the word smart, he would be better off if he came and took a plane, came down to see you, and guess what? He'll make a lot more money because he won't have any more pain.
Hey, I'd say, listen, if you have to come in here and spend a couple of days, go on the beach, go on Atlantic Avenue, have some great food, enjoy yourself, good nightclubs around. Hey, this is a nice place to visit.
In
and
fact,
also get take care of.
Yeah.
Take your pain away.
In fact, Lee, if you decide to come here, if you call Dr. Pannozzo, tell him you're coming here, I will take care of everything for you. I'll get you the hotel. I'll get you a car to use. I'll give you some of the great restaurants to go to. Just call him up in his office when we're off the air at 561.
No flea bags for this.
Oh, no. I'll send you to a hotel that's right on the water. 561-381-5800. That's his office number and his personal number. And just promise me you'll call after the show.
Okay, next
Yeah,
question.
otherwise he picks it up.
He'll pick it up in the middle of my show. So, again, anyone that wants to come down to see Dr. Pannozzo, all they have to do is call this number. He'll refer you to me, and I will take care of everything. You take care of the plane, I'll take care of everything else. Question
Wow,
number...
that's
serious.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Stay in a nice hotel on the ocean. I don't think that's bad.
This goes for anybody, anywhere.
Anywhere. We don't care where you are.
I don't think the prices are that high either.
Nah, you take Spirit Airlines for like $90.
No, I mean hotels.
Hotels,
They're not that
we'll take care of it for them. We want everybody in this country to get
over
better.
here on Atlantic Avenue.
We'll give you a place to eat.
We'll give them a good flea hotel.
Okay. Did you say flea or fleet?
Flea.
Okay. Just want to make sure you...
I don't know. I had a lapse of memory there.
Doc,
That's my new excuse when I can't answer. I had a lapse of memory.
I got to make sure the doc is saying the right things. I don't want to have any trouble. Freddie, watch what he says. Another one of our Atlanta people, Sheila, writes, I've had a migraine headache all my life and heard that you can get rid of them easily. Many doctors have told me that migraines come from working outside in the sun for 40 years and that the pain would never leave me. No, that's wrong. Please tell me that they're wrong. Okay, go ahead. I wish I could answer this question, Doc. Go ahead.
You've heard enough. You should be able to answer.
God, migraines don't come from the sun. Migraines don't come from eating the wrong foods. Migraines.
No, they don't. Migraine comes from the neck.
Right.
We know where it comes from. I did the research on it. There's no one knows about it better than I do. No one, no neurologist, nobody knows more about headache than I do. And I'm guaranteeing you that.
So if you want to come down
I'm an honest guy, too. When I tell you that, it's true.
I have seen people.
But we'll take care of this migraine just like that. No problem.
You said...
If it's really migraine. See, you need a diagnosis also.
It might not even be a migraine.
It may not be. It may be close to a migraine, but not really a migraine.
So here's another one. We had people come in with migraines, and you treated them for the V word. And that V word is?
B?
Vertigo. The V word.
Oh, V?
I'm from New
I thought
York.
you said B.
You got to watch I'm from New York. I don't talk well. That's why I don't understand what the hell I'm doing here. I don't even talk right.
B to go? No,
B
vertigo.
To go. It's vertigo.
No,
Do
vertigo,
you know,
no.
Doc, a lot of people have vertigo?
Yes.
Yeah.
We talk to people,
Yeah.
and they don't even know that they have it.
No.
They're like, oh, yeah, I get dizzy, and then I have to stop doing
that's
what
all
I
from
do.
the same place that migraine comes from. It's all treatable one day. I mean, it's really fantastic. Remember those two gals that came in? One called me up. She
Amy,
said,
yes, I
vertigo
remember her
came
name.
back, but it was on the other side.
Oh,
And I said, well, just come in or wait a couple more days and it'll probably could go away. And it did. She hasn't been back.
No.
Even the vertigo is treatable. The ear, nose, and throat specialists do not have the answer to this. Absolutely not. The explanation is
crystals.
Stupid.
Crystals in the ear.
When I was a medical student, I said, what am I reading? This is terrible. This doesn't even make any sense. But they're trying to help you, But
they're trying, but they're not
we
accomplishing
found
it.
out the reason, and they won't refer to us. By the way,
They're looking in the wrong places, Doc.
they're looking in the wrong places.
You hit it right there.
It's really funny. Let me ask you a
You're gonna fall for
question,
that one.
ladies and gentlemen. If you go to your doctor and he's going to give you a shot in your arm, your butt, whatever, and he doesn't open a new syringe in a new package, do you stop the doctor and say, "Excuse me, where'd you get that syringe?" I will bet you 9 out of 10
That's
people
right.
won't say a word and let the doctor do whatever he does because he's the doctor. He could use a used syringe, he could use whatever. If you got pain, you've been going to the same doctor for a year, tell him enough. The madness has to stop.
Yeah, if you have to get better, even in my office. In fact, I have a sign on my bulletin board. You read it when you walk in the office. It says, if you're not completely well or improved in 2 weeks, you're in the wrong office.
Well,
Don't
I'm
even
glad-
tell me about it, just leave.
I'm glad both of you said that. Today, a report from the Institute of Medicine just released said, second opinions are a must. Too many misdiagnoses. Make sure the doctor or the surgeon has a knowledge and a concern about you as a patient. Ask questions. Don't leave it up to the doctor.
Yes, but when you have a closed staff, in-network, out-of-network, you can't do that.
That's right.
The insurance companies, and by the way, Medicare is behind all this. Don't think Medicare is not doing it.
No, I'm not saying anything.
By law, they can't do this themselves, but they tell the insurance companies to do it. That's what Obamacare did. The insurance companies are under reins. They have to do what the government tells them to do. And that's not what you want. You want competition out there.
Oh, sure.
So they're rating in the staffs, and you can't get second opinions because you leave that staff. You got to pay for it yourself. What good is that? The whole thing is rotten, and the state of Florida can fix this if they want to.
I wish they could. They did for a lot. There's a lot of people out there that don't buy the
Too
right
many
insurance.
restricted staff. I'm a top doctor, I think, in my field.
In your field, yes.
I should be on every staff there is.
I agree.
Am I? No, not Humana. Because some woman 5 years ago decided I wasn't going to be on there. And I've never been since. And what's the reason? There is no reason. None.
Well, I'm on United Healthcare, and
I'm not sued. I do excellent care. It's one-day treatment. It saves money. It does a lot of good for the patients. And this woman, whoever she, little Nazi that she is, she decided that I wasn't going to be on that staff.
Right.
I mean, people ought to revolt against this. But they're getting it for free. That's why they stay with it. And they suffer at the end. They're walking in my office limping, and I can't do anything
You know what
about
they
it.
say about something for free? You're getting just what you deserve.
What you pay for.
Humana restricts staff like no one else does. Oh.
But there are good insurance companies out there because I happen to be on one of the good insurance companies that approves wherever I want to
You
go.
have Medicare and a supplement.
Yes,
You're not
supplement.
talking about this other stuff.
That's exactly
Blue
right.
Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Humana for the underage group.
Right.
You can't get good insurance from them.
I know.
Now, when you see these doctors, you pay a deductible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's assume
Well, there's
that.
two things. There's a deductible and a copay.
Okay, so let's assume that those two numbers, after 6 visits, 8 visits, close to $1,000 for something that doesn't get cured.
Yeah.
So aren't you better off just paying, if the insurance company doesn't cover you, just paying for Dr. Pannozzo's services?
Yeah.
I mean, in the long run, you're not getting cured anyway.
No, at
You're
all.
just going back and forth, just wasting gas
But in
and
my
time.
office, you do get cured.
Yeah.
That's right. So my point is, if the insurance companies say no, then the patient says yes. It's really simple.
I agree.
Patients should not let the insurance companies tell them what to do. They are out in business to make money, not to treat you. The doctors treat you. They're only treating your money, and they'll retain as much of it as they can to make money for themselves. This is high wages, good insurance that they have for themselves. Talking about the insurance company. Good retirement benefits. What do you get out of it? Nothing. You get pain. That's what you get. You should throw those insurance companies out. Big deductibles have no business in.
Well, there are deductibles at I think at some of the radio stations, the TV stations that are almost $5,000 before you that you have to spend.
Well, it was $600 when I treated all those radio people, and none of them paid, by the way.
There you have it.
All right.
Well, you know the funny thing, Doc.
Then on to the next question.
No, hold on. The funny thing, Doc, is a person goes to see you, and the insurance company doesn't cover, and they send you down to Miami or some other island somewhere. But they're sending you to a doctor that doesn't do what you do.
Right.
So they're resolving the issue by sending you to an family doctor or whatever that doesn't do what you do. So why are you sending me there? Makes no sense.
If you have to go out of your neighborhood, that's the wrong insurance. Believe me, it's not good. I'm on the inside of this. I've been dealing with insurance companies for how many years?
Over 49 years.
53 years.
53 years.
Yeah.
They should know you by now.
They got a picture of him in the insurance company. Do not take this call.
I saw that. This guy calls, put him on hold.
Out of network. Big flashy lights, out of network.
Love that word, out of network. Okay, well, let's go. Jill in Miami writes, I saw your show listed on a website that my trainer recommended I watch.
Oh,
I
nice.
was amazed that you can cure things like scoliosis, migraines, and wanted to ask you if I had a hip pain from an accident 2 years ago. My trainer, Lisa Dwoskin, thank you, Lisa, says I should never get hip surgery done, but the pain in walking is intense, she says. Can you explain how you remove the pain in the hip and what kind of medicine do you use? I will be watching on the website today.
It's not the medication you're interested in.
No, it's where you put it.
It's the engineering problem that you have. Why would the hip hurt you and not the other one? That's the first question you got to ask yourself, or I ask myself.
Yeah.
Why is it the left one, not the right one?
Right.
And so we examine them both. Then you find out what hurts on the painful one. And it's usually a ligament, not the joint itself. See, the orthopedists give you the wrong idea. They're going to replace you're going to take your whole joint out. Well, usually there's nothing wrong with the joint itself. It's bound down by a bunch of ligaments that allow you to rotate that joint, whether it's a knee, ankle, hip, shoulder. You're allowed to do that by design. There's a ligament that allows you to do it. When you injure the ligament, it will not stretch. So one of the things that you have to understand is that what is a pain anyway? It's an inability to stretch. So it brings you to thinking, well, what's not stretching? You know? You understand the reasoning process? It's a 1, 2, 3. It's very logical. And so you come up with the exact spot that's painful. You palpate it, like you said, feel it, and put a shot in it, and it's gone like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Freddie and I have both gone to you.
I'm not kidding. I mean, this is true. You can hold me to it.
Oh, hey, look.
And anyway, all the work is guaranteed. Even if you have to pay for it yourself, you're paying for it one time, and if it didn't do the job, you can come in for free. We'll fix it up.
So I want to ask everyone, Freddie, have you ever heard of a doctor that's doing surgery guaranteeing the surgery?
Never.
No, they can't.
Have you ever heard of a chiropractor say, I'm going to guarantee when I break your back, it'll get better?
Never.
Okay.
Never. I never heard of anybody guaranteeing anything.
Cracking the back. I don't think they break it.
Oh, well, I always understand. You ever watch these shows when the spies go and they twist that neck and the guy is dead?
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
They break the neck.
So how does the guy kill the guy and the chiropractor doesn't? I don't know.
Because they break it. The chiropractor just snaps it.
It just snaps it, okay. I have a joke about a chiropractor. I don't want to get sued. Okay, so Mac from Washington State asked, I watched your show on your website and wanted to know if this was real. Okay, that's the first part.
Yes.
Yes, okay, let me give a yes on that one. So if he calls again, okay. I saw the lady with scoliosis on her back that was 70 years of age and was amazed that you could help her get rid of it. How is she doing, by the way? Okay, let's take that. How is she doing, by the way, Doc?
Doing good.
Yeah. She's almost, well, we could tell a story because Freddie filmed her.
Yeah.
We show you before and after. I mean, you can't refute an x-ray that we do.
Cannot.
You can refute an MRI because it's two-dimensional. You can't refute the x-ray that he does. Okay. I have the same issue that she doesn't want to know. If I came in to see you, would I need to do anything special to get ready to have my back area worked on?
No.
No. Okay. Short and sweet, right? Like the needle.
Short and sweet.
It seems she had to take many treatments to get it done. And if I want to know if it ever came back, why did she seem to grow? This is amazing stuff. Okay.
She did grow, right? Like 2.5 inches?
Yeah, it is amazing. You're absolutely right. And you grow because we take the curve out.
Oh, the spine straightens out.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So if you have a back that's curved like this, you've lost 3 inches in this curve right here. So as that curve comes out, you actually grow.
Okay.
You're not growing like a teenager, but it's re-lengthening its body.
case.
The reason you have the curve in the first place is to straighten out the weight bearing. This is an engineering problem. I mean, it really is. significant. The way this thing happens, and we figured it out. This is all I've done for 53 years, so we figured it out. We don't do any surgery.
You don't look a day over
the surgeons
65.
control all this, but they do surgery. They don't do treatments. You got to understand who's doing what.
Don't get excited now. I hate when you get excited.
I'm getting excited.
Okay.
Was she in pain, Doc, before you first met her?
Sure.
Oh, do you remember when we first met her? She was like, she said she made a lot of money just sitting, picking up pennies and nickels and dimes on the floor.
I know, she was bent over. That's not nice.
I know, but
you remember her husband had to do her bra because she couldn't get back there.
He told me that he missed snapping.
This is a practical thing. This is not comical. This is very practical stuff.
Well, what happened when Freddie and I first met the lady, and we were taking pictures so we could show it, and we came in one day, I think like 3 or 4 weeks later, and we walked right by her. And she got mad at you and me, and we didn't recognize her. Because you know what you notice? When people start straightening up, they get their hair done now. They put their makeup on. They wear different clothes.
Because you could see her face.
Yeah, I'm getting the chills now because I remember that lady so well when I saw her.
You know, chill up and down your leg.
No, I do because what people don't realize is you really get a good feeling when you're seeing someone walk out that has pain. I mean, I tell everyone, just come to his office. Don't even write your name on the list. Sit down and listen.
Yeah, we do this all the time. I don't get excited anymore. This is a science to me. I mean, this is a job. And,
well, that's how you discovered vertigo.
Reducing the pain is my job.
So, Mac from Washington State, I offer you the same thing as I did the other gentleman. If you call Dr. Pannozzo at 561-381-5800, you tell him when you're planning on coming down. Myself and my staff will make reservations at a great hotel on the ocean for you at a very reasonable price and tell you the restaurants to go to, and you can have a great day because the hotel is right on the ocean. Because I know how cold it is up there in Washington State. So give us a call again, 561-381.
Washington State?
Washington State.
Well, they go to Scottsdale, see Paul.
Paul, no, sees you. You should buy patients. It's your patient, not Paul's.
That's half the trip.
Okay, so go to see Paul. What's Paul's number, Doc? Come on, Doc.
623-776-8686.
And ask for Paul Pannozzo. The only other person...
They'll answer, Dr. Pannozzo.
Yeah. The only other... Does he do the same thing when you could call him 24 hours a day like you?
Yeah.
He picks up his own phone, too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
like father, like son.
I started that, and he liked that idea.
Yeah.
And it's very personal. See, pain is a very personal thing.
Yes, it is.
You got to really, trust the guy who's going to treat you. And, of course, we tried to imbibe that trust.
And the longer you live with that pain, the
worse it gets.
Yeah, the trust becomes
more scar
an issue.
tissue. See, the scar tissue is what you're fighting against.
I remember when you took care of me, we went to lunch, me and Les. And we were at the mall. At the mini mall,
right?
And I stopped in the middle of the street with cars coming all over us. Remember that?
I thought you were on drugs.
And I said, "Holy mackerel! I could feel my feet." And
as the horns were blowing,
and the horns were blowing, I said, "Shut up!" I started screaming at people, "Shut up! I got my feet back." Remember that?
I remember.
And Les is like, "Freddie, can we get out of the street?" I said, "No, nobody move."
I remember that. Then I realized being friends with Freddy, you could get killed when he gets cured. Hey, I remember when I got the shot for a groin injury. I was back at the gym the next day. I was sleeping on a chair on the weekend. I could have called him. I know he would have seen me on Saturday. I just didn't want to bother him. But let me tell you, man, you don't know what that pain. If you've had groin pain.
But how do you feel after he takes care of you?
I was 100% better.
I know, but how did you feel? Did you find it amazing?
No, because I've known him for a year and I've watched what he's done to other people.
Yeah,
so
amazing. Yes, you did.
It was because he went. He said, "Where's it hurt?" I showed him. He pushed it. This little Jewish boy jumped 3 feet when he found the pain. But you know what?
I went home, spoke to Linda and Sarah and Freddie. My son was there. My daughter was there. Yeah. And I said, "You guys aren't going to believe this." And they all looked at me like I was nuts. Remember that, Linda?
Oh.
Everybody looked at me like I was crazy.
How is it possible? That's what.
And they all said that to me. Impossible. Impossible. Listen, I know my body, and I know what I've been through.
Exactly right. Only you know your own body.
I know my body.
Remember, all of this is a science. So if you don't understand it, that's okay. You're not
we
supposed
understand.
To. Who the heck are you? You're a layperson. You're not going to understand science of the body. I mean, it took me years to get this. So just try it out. Don't judge anything. Just try it out. If you're not satisfied, say so.
It's fine. Look, 80,000 people haven't said anything bad yet that you've treated. Well, we got to make it. It's got to be more than that.
78,000.
Oh, it's gone up more than that.
More than that.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
I can't count that high. I only have 10 fingers.
Well, you got 10 toes.
10 toes.
Wear sandals. Okay, here we go. Andrew from Boynton Beach, right in our backyard, and he says, I'm a trainer here in Florida, and sometimes when I work out, or my clients work out, they hurt themselves lifting weights. I was curious to ask someone who had elbow pain and knee pain how long it would take for them to get better.
Elbow is 1 day.
1 day, okay.
Knee pain, depending on what's causing it. Now, I had a couple of people last week that came in with knee pain, but it was the hip causing it.
Do you hear that, folks? It wasn't the knee.
Now, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
You runners should listen to this.
Wasn't the knee.
Very close. Guy comes into my office with a knee pain on the left and an Achilles tendon pain on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
I would think so.
Yeah. So I examined him. All I could find was a hip problem. So what happened was the hip places the knee and ankle to work. If it places it here, it works here. If it places it here, it works here. The other knee was normal. The left knee was normal.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was when he would walk with the hip out of place, the knee would be overstretched on the stride. Because if you're working and you have to get from here to there, you're going to make sure you get from here to there.
Oh,
You'll
sure,
suffer
sure.
later, but you will do that. And so this is what happened. So after I took care of the hip, the Achilles tendon left, he called me up the next day. He said, I can't believe all my pain's gone because of the hip treatment I gave him. So runners, there is a story and a scenario to why you have a pain. You've got to listen to it, and it can be involve both sides. Remember, when you do this,
running,
it's both sides.
Right. You run with both legs.
Yeah, what I was really comical was somebody will say, well, it must be the surface, that's why my knee went bad. Well, what about the other one?
Yeah, that's well, the gentleman that you're taking from the gym who went to, quote, the biggest doctors in Denver and had 2 knee replacements, he's with you now, and it's the first time he's able to walk.
Yeah, and lift weights and do exercise.
Yeah, because I work out with. Let me ask you a question. Why do they do? This might sound like a dumb question. Why do they do with those knees that they throw away?
They burn them.
That's it. Okay.
And they're normal.
Yeah. So a knee should never be
There are more normal
replaced.
knees being thrown away. You cannot believe it. See, even on bone, you're only talking about maybe 3 inches of scar tissue. That's
right.
all. And they're throwing the whole thing away. This is created by somebody. I don't know how it happened that we have these knees, but these knees are superb, and they're just throwing them away right and left.
That in itself.
There's nothing wrong with them.
Nothing wrong with them. No, not the inside of the knee. It's all on the outside.
And why, when we hear all these athletes that are out for a year with ACL?
Oh,
that's
there's
the
no
big
such
thing, right,
thing.
Freddie? I mean, you're the coach.
ACL is amazing.
No such thing as an ACL.
Really? So, who came up with this and decided to?
Some orthopedic surgeon wanted to develop a new surgery, and they did.
Oh,
and it publishes, good or bad, it got published. So now, if you go to see somebody, they'll say, "Oh, you have an ACL." I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. There is no such thing.
What does an ACL stand for? I don't even know.
Anterior cruciate ligament. It's the little ligament that holds the tibia to the femur.
Right.
It's that big. That's all. That big.
And you
don't even need it.
So I guess let me get this straight.
And it doesn't hurt. You know why?
Why?
There's no pain fibers inside any joint.
You hear that, Freddie? So all these guys.
You know pressure, but you don't know pain. There is no pain on the inside of any joint.
So all these millions and millions of dollars that these athletes are losing?
And the owners of these big organizations, they have a lot of money to spend. Evidently, they're charging enough. Anyway, if you're playing for them, you have to go to their surgeon.
Yeah. The word surgeon.
Wrong. You should be able to pick the doctor you want.
Well, the kid from Georgia, Sarah knows him, Curly, was drafted by the Rams.
Oh, Curly, yeah, I know.
St. Louis Rams.
Right.
And he had an ACL injury done in November of last year. And the procedure is to wait a year and then get back to health 6 months after the year. Well, he started playing the last 4 games. They put him in. And he's tearing it up. He's doing fantastic. And they're giving it credit to the doctor that performed the ACL.
No, do not do that. This is
this is the problem.
This is the player.
This is what's happening. He's a huge specimen. And he's doing really, really well.
And how do you know that?
That he's a huge
That's what
specimen?
he said. But don't forget, he's losing a lot of money if he doesn't play.
Well, you see, but this is the
Now,
game.
These players will play half dead.
Oh yeah, for that money, that's true.
When they buy a 90,000 square foot house, they got to pay for that thing.
Well, it's a unique situation, you know.
Evander Holyfield.
Well, it's a unique situation. Harvey from the Mets, the pitcher. He took a picture for Sports Illustrated that shows his little scar he has for Tommy John surgery. Now he's eligible for arbitration, which means that he tells you what he's worth. The ball club says this is what you're worth, and somewhere in the middle you meet. But what's happening now is they're talking about trading him because he's going to want $200 million for 6 years. Why? Because he had one decent year. Why? Because Dr. Parks, who performed the ACL, kept his innings down. I mean, it isn't about the player anymore.
Listen, if this
it's about
guy
the
wants,
doctor.
if this guy wants an expert opinion, I have it. I am that expert. I treat these elbows every day of the week. Nobody has a Tommy John surgery. You don't need it. There's no surgery there. It's another scam. I don't think that should be done.
No, they're doing them. The Mets got four players.
Yeah, because they're forced to. You know, the owner says, well, you got to go to our surgeon. He says you got to have this. Take it or leave it, and you take it. What are you going to do?
The other thing about Tommy John surgery, which if you don't believe me, just look up Tommy John surgery. Go to all the athletes. You don't hear about all the bad ones.
They're all bad. What are you talking about?
No, wait. Okay.
You only hear about one good one, which is the one you mentioned last week.
You hear maybe one or two good ones, but you don't hear about all the ones that failed.
Yeah.
They don't mention those. No,
of course not.
They said
you know why? They'll blame it on the player.
Yes, they'll say the athlete isn't that good.
Exactly.
The physical therapists do the same thing. They'll blame the patient. They'll say, you didn't do our program right. That's why you didn't get better.
That's right. You didn't follow what Harvey did.
I mean, this is what I hear in the office. You know, I'm not making this stuff up. This is what I'm told.
I found out some doctor.
Terrible. It's absolutely horrible.
When a player gets hurt and they all run out to trainers, I heard what they say. So where you go for dinner tonight? Yeah. How bad do you really feel? Okay.
They like their job and they try to do it. The thing is knowledge. See, that's what we're talking about. You got to go to people who actually do this kind of work, and they don't. Traders don't do this kind of work. That's a trade school for them.
Right.
Orthopedic surgeons don't do this kind of work. They go surgery work. They don't do musculoskeletal treatment work like I do. See, that's why I can talk like this, because they don't do the same kind of work, and they don't even understand it.
That's right.
That's why there's so many surgeries. You know, being off of the knee for a year, it only helps the surgeon. That's all.
But this is what's happening. You got Boris as your agent. You have Dr. Parks as your surgery, and they're in the news.
Dr. Parks, big-time guy.
They're in the news talking about, you know what the best thing happened to Tommy John surgery? The World Series. The Mets had 4 players on that squad. They had it done. And Harvey was the best pitcher during that particular deal for the Mets.
And they're blaming it on that?
No, they're saying they're giving the credit to Boris and the doctor for keeping the innings down, fighting with the club, keeping the innings down.
There's no reason to keep the innings down. Absolutely none.
Does he lose money that way when they keep the innings down?
No, because they brought it to light saying that they saved his career.
Well, they're still paying it out, though. They just...
Well, $200 million.
They're
is a lot of money for 6 years.
Career. There's nothing wrong in there that takes a year to heal.
Oh no, Boris is smart. Now he has a doctor in his pocket.
Ligaments only take 3 weeks.
The whole operation is about an inch.
Ligaments. This is a ligament surgery.
Yes.
There's no ligament to operate in there. It takes 3 weeks to heal any torn ligament. That's all. To do nothing, it's 3 weeks.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Well, you know what else is amazing, which I've seen? I've seen people that have come to this gentleman with a pain in a part of the body that was affected that caused that pain. Weir was one of those people, which I always mention, came in with an ankle problem. He found out just by looking at her. When people say, can I have a diagnosis? He doesn't do that. His diagnosis is getting rid of your pain. That's what you came in for. He doesn't say, well, let me look here, let me check your body, this and that. He doesn't do that. Am I right? You don't do a diagnosis where it has to be approved. You come in, you do a diagnosis. By who? Insurance company. You touch it, and you find out what's wrong, and you get it done that day.
We do our own thing. We make our own diagnosis, and we do the treatment right then and there. Now, if I'm right, you get better in 2 minutes. If I'm wrong, you won't.
Right.
And everybody's different.
Yeah. Everybody, when someone says, could you cure a knee?
The diagnosis is in musculoskeletal work is a scenario. Mm-hmm. It's not just one thing. It may have a couple of aspects to it. You got to know all that.
Right.
like a shoulder. The orthopedists always check the strength, see if you're strong. That has nothing to do with it. It's ligament, it's range of motion that it's affected, not strength.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
when you know that, you can find the right thing and take care of it. That's why
Read
the last one.
Yeah, I got this one right here.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Peter Stevens, who is head of the women's national Haitian soccer team, writes, I've been involved in soccer all my life. Now as the head coach of the Haitian women's soccer team, your producer has shown me how you can help athletes get better from injury. He explained to me that hamstring injury is something you're a specialist in and can help my players heal quickly.
I didn't know that. I'm a specialist in hamstrings.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a specialist in any pain. Anyway, hamstrings is not a diagnosis. It's a sight, and you have to know what happened to it. Usually, it's a referred pain from somewhere else. You take care of where it comes from, and the hamstring goes away. If you can bend down 90 degrees with your legs straight, legs straight, you're bending down. That's all a hamstring does. That's all it's supposed to do. If you can do that, there's nothing wrong with that hamstring.
It's amazing, Doctor. You say that because they were right. The hamstring that he had was coming from the bad lower back.
Right, yeah.
And then they found out about the shrinking of the spine and that whole thing unraveled.
No, that just got out of hand.
And he also...
I will tell you where it comes from. L5S1 annulus will cause a hamstring referral. You have to be able to know it's there. You got to examine for it. Then you got to inject it, and then it goes out right now.
So he said a lot of his players, before Freddy spoke to the guy, is out to 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Because if you take care of the problem, it's one day. You don't need 6 to 8.
But they didn't know about you. I met them because they're doing a soccer federation tournament for the next 3 months.
Well, they're a little far away in Haiti.
No. They're here. They're in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, they're in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. They're in Fort Lauderdale. As a matter of fact, there are 28 teams in this tournament. And you should see the number of hamstring injuries and other injuries. And they found out about
soccer?
It's soccer.
Okay. Think about how can you get injured in soccer? Falling on your hip.
Yes. Oh, that's right. That happens every day.
That's how you get it.
Happens
and they're
every
always
day.
falling on the hip.
Yeah, a lot of those players should be evaluated before they play to make sure they're in sync so that they don't get hurt like that. And so you can take care of a lot of it in advance so it doesn't happen. I had 500 employees one time, and I examined every one of them. But I always knew what a pain was, where it came from.
Right.
So when you came to see me and to get hired, I examined you, and I could tell you where your pain is from and how long you had it. And then it'd say, well, Doc, I need this job. I said, okay, I don't want to hear about this again. I have it written down. You had this pain when you started and where it's from. And we never did. It was a handshake. These people were great employees.
Let me get one more question.
But you got to know your stuff. You can't do this by cheating people.
Larry from Survey Monkey writes, I was told that medicine you use may cause side effects or seizures, and I should ask before you work on my hip. Is that true? Who do you think would have said that?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There is nothing can happen to you from what I do. I use the stuff on myself. I get pain too.
Folks, let me tell you something.
I just went to Arizona to see my son, and he gave me a couple of shots on my back because I'm moving equipment and I hurt myself.
It is the only steroid that is accepted by the NFL, and because there's nothing long acting. Am I correct?
No, it's an anti-inflammatory.
It's an anti-inflammatory
not to build up protein. No,
right.
It's not that kind of steroid.
Right. So I just want everyone to know.
And it only lasts 9 hours maximum, so you can't get hurt.
No.
With it. I mean, how can you? I mean, that's ridiculous.
So whoever told you that, Larry,
it's self-serving. These people are self-serving. They seem to know what I do. How do they know what I do?
No, that's
except
exactly
by
right.
asking me, and they don't.
All you have to do is call.
So these are little brains. You want to stay away from people like that. I mean,
little brains, tiny brains.
One thing,
that's self-serving. They just.
One thing about Dr. Pannozzo, I want everyone to know that he doesn't pull punches.
I tell you the way it is. You don't like it.
He don't care. Of course, there's 100 people waiting in the office to see the guy, so he doesn't want to argue with you. So let me just say this.
We haven't said anything too bad about it.
If you come in to see Dr. Pannozzo, do not bring in your MRI. Correct, Doc?
Everything we do is based on
science.
And it is the basic science. Everything else is alternative. So when you talk about alternative, I saw a term you used the other day. I said, what do you mean alternative?
It's not alternative medicine. It's
either
scientific
medicine or it
medicine.
isn't. It's not alternative.
Okay, wait till you have what alternative medicine is before we go. Chiropractic, stones, hot stones, massages, acupuncture, acupressure. Let me play with your big pinky toe and you'll get better.
How about freezing your whole body?
Freezing your whole body. 561-381-5800. Call the doctor up, make an appointment.
You missed your chance by not calling me.
Yes, you did. 561-381-5800. Goodbye, Mrs. Santori. Goodbye, Colleen. Doc, I must say goodbye because we got to go back to your office. Have a good day, and we'll see you here next Sunday. Linda, you too. Bye, everybody.
This has been the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pannozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pannozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pannozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pannozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts for the body.